Hello, I'm VX and welcome back to the Remove Features video. Today we're going through 5 features which were removed from the console version of Minecraft. The reason I figured we focus on the console version of the game today is because the console has had a much shorter development history and therefore less removed features, but the features that do tend to get removed are massive in scale and tend to send a very interesting message about the direction they're heading the game in, and yeah, today I'm going through 5 of them. Hopefully you all do enjoy this. If you do like it, let me know because it helps out the channel and lets know you do enjoy the, the removed feature videos. I think it's so interesting to go back and look at the features which once existed in Minecraft and now don't, because usually they're removed for a reason and not just hidden away. And yeah, in these 5 cases, I think they do all send a very clear message, like the first one here, which is the giants. So giants are actually a feature which have existed on the PC version of the game for a very long time now, literally like 7 years or something like that. They're one of the earliest features added to the game, and they used to just spawn naturally in the wild until, somewhere in the pre-alpha stage where they decided to, no longer spawn them, but they've existed in the game code for the longest time. So on the PC, you can only spawn them in with, like using slash commands and stuff, and on the console, you could never spawn them in naturally because they existed from TU1, but you could actually, if you modified your inventory, you could get, a giant spawn egg in there, and you could spawn in one of the most terrifying mobs in the game because the attack damage it did was enough to kill most players in one hit. So yeah, super deadly mob, really interesting stuff. So why was it removed in the end? So we don't know for sure why it was removed, but because the PC version of the game in 1.8, so again, not too, long ago, decided to remove the AI, but not the whole mob itself, on the console, in reaction to the exact moment it was there, they decided to just remove the entire mob altogether because, again, there was no real way to get it in the first place, I guess, and maybe they spoke to Mojang, they're like, oh yeah, we don't really intend to use that, but yeah, they removed the giant altogether, and now the giant, which again, admittedly was only spawnable through commands, which is true for a lot of things here, just no longer exists. Something which was in the game, the giant, is now gone forever, and that's why it's our first removed feature, and it's kind of a bummer, because I really wish there was some use for the giant in the console. Again, maybe some minigame can use them, or something, because they're just such an intriguing mob, because they're so much bigger than every other mob in the game, by far. So yeah, with that said, let's move into the second removed feature from Minecraft console, which is along a similar vein, really, because it is command blocks. So command blocks are one of the biggest, deals of a PC feature. They were added in 1.4, and they're basically like, oh yeah, now you can hook up redstone to commands, so you can change the time of day. You can do pretty much anything that's possible with commands with this block in Minecraft. So it's still not available in the creative inventory over there. It's still only available through a command itself. So it's not like, it's definitely not for survival. It's barely even for creative. The block does exist, and it's a really big deal for custom map makers. You can do so many things with command blocks. So when the 1.4 equivalent update came out for console, which was TU19, which also had a bunch of other stuff, they added the command blocks again in the game code, but you could only get it by modifying your inventory, and it didn't actually do anything. Like, it existed, but you couldn't activate it anyway. There is some very specific code you used to be able to run on it to make it do something, but again, that was only found out years after its launch. They're basically just a block with a very interesting texture on. I think the command blocks texture is a very, again, bizarre one. It's so different to every other block that exists on the console version of the game, but yeah, they never added true functionality to it, because one, you were never truly able to get it on the PC, so they never made it properly able to get on the console, and two, because of the fact that if you did type in commands using your controller, it obviously would really suck. At least that's the presumed explanation for it never having commands. But the really interesting thing is that when they brought out TU43, again based on some of 1.9 and some of 1.10, they just removed the command block altogether from the game, and although it's not, I guess, truly gone, the fact that whenever you try to spawn it in, it's invisible, means that it pretty much is gone, sending the very interesting message that command blocks on console aren't a plan, or if they are a plan, they'll have to re-add them altogether as an entirely different block. Again, it's a very interesting message to send, to just remove something which existed on the PC and is kind of a big deal, but no longer exists on the console. So yeah, that's the command block and the giant. But the third one here is one that really does exist in the PC all the time and that people like to use, that just, isn't available on the console, and really represents a fundamental difference in the way you can play around with creative, because on the PC, if you want to, you can break any bedrock anywhere in the world. And, obviously this makes sense when you're going across the world because it's infinite or semi-infinite that way, and obviously it makes sense when you're going down because you can go below the world. Except on the console, you can't break that layer of bedrock, and you can't get to where the void is. That's right, when you go below that last layer of bedrock, you fall into the void and just the stuff goes missing. Kind of like how the end works on, I guess when you go to the end and you fall off that, you die, it goes forever. It's the same thing with when you break the bedrock down there. So yeah, when they first added creative to the game, they removed the void at the same time, and although very few people had any experience of the void before that, again, Sword King, you might see his clip on screen right now, he's actually seen it, and he could jump in the void and it just crashed the game. So it never really worked before then on the console, but it was technically in the game, it was technically possible, and you could do some really weird stuff there, and they decided to remove it with TU5 rather than optimizing it in its own full way. So again, a feature which exists on the PC, they decided not to fully bring to the console and to go all the other way and just to remove it altogether, which I just find very intriguing myself. And yeah, when you see these features, it's kind of like a way of saying, oh, I guess they might not ever be in the game. But yeah, that's the void. I'd like to see it on the console, but it's been like 40 updates since then, and I don't think it's something that I guess many people even know exists, because again, once you break down, you might just assume that last layer of bedrock has to be there. Maybe it's because they assumed that people who play console might be younger in general and therefore might be confused if they just go down there. Again, I don't know what the actual reason is, but it's one of those things that's like, oh, I wish there was some way you could go down there, but you can't anymore, and that is the third remove feature. The fourth remove feature from the console version of the game is actually the Superflat combination. So, yeah, if you don't know, when Superflat first came to console, it was a TU25 feature. Honestly, in my opinion, it was the biggest feature of that update, because they added new fences, they added new doors, and I think a few other things. Like, to me, it was like, okay, new building blocks, don't really care, but Superflat combinations, they were the possibility to basically have, like, adventure maps built into Minecraft, because if you want to set up something like Nuclear Wasteland Survival, that's right, one of the most, like, inspiring series on my channel. It's one of the most viewed videos on my channel too, I think. Like, people love the idea of Nuclear Wasteland Survival, because you can have TNT ready to be primed by, you know, wood, and then light some, then light some lava up, or the other way around, I guess. Have some lava that lights wood, and then, you know, ignites TNT. You can make that destroy your entire world bit by bit, and that was just such a giant burst of content for Minecraft console. However, there were so many things that were possible here, such as having all of your villagers float in the sky with gravel, such as having, you know, just all these different things that stress the game so hard, and because of the way, you know, if you don't know, console games are required to have consistent performance, they're required not to crash the game, because all of these got so popular, in a way, the popularity of these things is what killed them, which to me is kind of sad, because, again, at first I was just like, why would you remove something that beautiful? But again, if you work on consoles, you have to make sure the game runs stably, and the only way they could do that with these insane, you know, these Superflats, which in a way were designed to break the game, was to remove them altogether, and that is why there are Superflat option restrictions exclusive to the console, because they had to remove these previous ones, and now there's no way to get them. Again, if you want to mod a save in there, you might be able to, but there's no way to properly get them, which I guess kind of makes me sad. So if you got the game exactly in TU25 and you don't, if you want to go play back and play those, I guess you can, but otherwise we will just have to say, oh, wasn't that a fun time? And honestly, it really was. There were so many fun combinations, and it's been a while since I found a really fun one, but again, maybe at some point in the future. For now, all you need to know is that certain custom Superflat combinations were removed, and a lot of the best ones that the community loved the most was too, and in a way it's sad, in a way it's like, I guess that makes sense. And that brings us into the last one here, the biggest of all the removed features on the console, the one that I know everyone is most caring about here. Like, okay, remove giants, one of the coolest mobs, that's fine. Remove command blocks, one of the possibilities, the most creativity, that's fine too. The void, you know, the possibility to actually see a whole new dimension of your world, and even Superflat combos, one of the most fun things in the game. But the rose were removed from the game, guys. That's right, they decided to just remove the rose from Minecraft, and now it's gone. There's no rose in Minecraft console anymore, because it's been replaced with a poppy. This is literally the worst thing they've ever done to Minecraft. It ruined the whole game. You know, I was having so much fun before then, but you know, the fact that the rose is called the poppy now, like, what is worth doing? Like, even in Minecraft, you know, is there any build worth having if you have to have a, you know, a poppy next to it? And what's there worth doing in real life if you can't have your perfect Minecraft build with, you know, roses everywhere? That's the question I have to ask you, and I hope you did all enjoy today's video. If you did all like it, like video, let me know, because it helps out the channel a lot and lets me know you do like it. The reason that the rose thing is there, by the way, is because I know whenever you ask about removed features, everyone always brings up the rose. Like, it is still a sore memory in people's hearts, and maybe this helps you get over it. But yeah, share it if you really liked it, and subscribe if you're new around here, because I make videos like this one every single day on my channel, and if you subscribe, you'll see them daily on your homepage. So there have been other features removed from the console, but they've been, like, removed from the PC too, so I figured it wouldn't be, again, like, that interesting of a video. But if you want to see all of those, let me know with the comments down there, and let me know also how the rose being removed has affected your life, because I know it's a big one for all of us. Let's all have like a support group down there in the comments, and yeah, I hope you all enjoy the video, because I'll have to see you all in the next one. So goodbye, everyone.